Whakarongo mai ki te reo e tangi nei, e ringi hia mai.
Historically, these whānau came to Otangarei in the 60s. Their fathers were looking for mahi, came from their rohe, from the rural environments.
Whiti mai te rā, ngaro ana te mamai.
They were strangers to one another, from different parts of the world. And their world was here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. But they came from all parts of the country and settled here.
O ngā hapu ngā puhi.
Otangarei itself has always had a stigma since I was a child. It still maintains that stigma or reputation today of being a no-go zone, a community of deprivation, poverty, violence, and in some cases it can be justified, but in other cases they will never know it's good, the bad and the needy.
Some of the families of the community decided, hey, why can't we do something for ourselves, by ourselves? Hence, the beginning of the Trust.
The Trust is 25 years old, you know, and we've been very territorial in our growth. You know, we've earned it, we've done the hard yards, and then how do we share that with another? But the thing, what works there is they've done the same. They've done the hard yards, they've done their mahi as well.
I'm really aware that we are one whānau, but we have different requirements upon us within the whānau.
I'm excited about the whole idea, and now that it's come into an action, it's even more exciting. The fact that we can work closer together and share resources rather than sort of talk to three different people when you're wanting to. It was all about being more smarter.
It reminds me of a traffic regulation, but it's like two lanes merging into one. You know, as you're going into that one lane, you've got to be careful.
The way the world is moving and the way government is moving, you know, we need to consolidate.
You know, it was a natural, I suppose, process for where we were going.
And more importantly, is to strengthen the services for whānau.
Serving the whānau doesn't necessarily mean that we will give you everything that we possibly can, where you will learn nothing from it. It could be to provide some service, some kind of service to you where we are promoting and enhancing your development.
Lately, you know, you've seen the mums come out like, okay, I want to get a job, I'm sick of the benefit, and from that we've had two whānau go through to get employment.
Of course, to do that, they have to storm break, which has sort of stopped the chaos sometimes that's happening in lives, because often whānau come in crisis, and help them to dream make.
We learnt along the way to talk to whānau to make it realistic, the dreams, because sometimes we put it way out there, you know, anything is possible. So whānau believe that, and so they set goals on dreams and goals that were a bit unrealistic. So we've learned through that to try and bring it in, but also that anything's possible and positive.
Recently we've sort of been doing more around using the natural resources that we've got around Whangarei, to do with you know, walking in the bush and having that kōrero around how your tinana can whakapapa to the land and have the connectedness with you know, with some of the atua that are around.
One of the things that was right at the top for me was the cultural significance of the pūrere.
We have a life force working in our own backyards, and we can tap into that as a model of practice around how that tree evolves.
The trunk was basically the tinana, or the foundation of all of our mahi. The roots were the values, the things that we feed the tinana with.
Utilising that it takes a village to raise a child. So if you're in a team, you're not special. Everyone is special, everyone is equal, so everyone contributes.
It's a community that pulls together.
That's probably a strength that that a lot of communities, mainstream communities, don't have. The strength of unifying each other.
It's always the same for me. I see that people who appear to have little give a lot. They give their time, they share whatever they've got in their cupboard, and they just take the time to be.
I don't do it for money, I do it for free, because it's something I like to do, and I'm going to do it for the families, I'm going to do it for the kids. I'm not going to do it for money.
They only do it because ko te aroha e puta mai ana I roto. It's my grandson, my responsibility.
It's no good telling someone to come in and make an appointment when they don't even know the face behind that telephone call.
We know who's who, we know our haututu ones, and we can challenge them. We're still in the shop the next day buying a loaf of bread and saying how's it to one another. They're still our whānau, that's it.
We should always remember that they are guests in our whare, and we need to make sure that we treat them as guests.
No door is the wrong door. You might get a different service within that door, but no door is the wrong door, because we actually are one whānau that can work it out with you.
What we're doing is we're starting to, I believe, manifest our potential.
The winds of change, and for Te Hau Awhiowhio, and the winds of change in Otangarei. So, you know, that's kind of what we're about.
Is this sustainable? Heck yeah. Is it possible? For sure, because we have a passion and we're prepared to challenge for something that's right.
It's an embracement. Embracing the things that we believe in, enhancing everything that will bring the utmost of health, settlement, happiness to the people.